Hey folks, this is BestInSlot with a quick little update on the Jurassic World Evolution 2 Camp Cretaceous Dinosaur Pack. The official Twitter account basically just posted this image a few minutes ago, showcasing all the different skins, all the different variants, and all the new species that are coming to the dinosaur pack. Now, we've seen a few of these before, so we're not going to go into them too much, but in our new species, of course, we've got the Monolithosaurus and the Scorpius Rex. In the variants, ones that really remodeled the dinosaur as well as give it new skins, we've got the Tyrannosaurus and we've got the Kentrosaurus, and then we've got skins, some of which do edit the model, particularly the Bumpy one, of course, with the bump here, but they're mainly visual, not model changes. And in that, we've got two Parasaurolophus skins. You can't see the second one here. We've got Bumpy, we've got the Big Etie T-Rex, which we've seen for the first time, and we've got the Carnotaurus Toro that we're seeing for the first time. So we're going to ignore the ones that we've seen in loads of detail before, and we're going to focus on the new ones. Of course, if you want to see all of these, particularly the Scorpius Rex in a little action, the Parasaurolophus in particular, the Lux versions in a lot of action, you can check out the stream from the other day, from Friday. So, trying to keep things snappy today, let's take a look at probably the biggest inclusion we're seeing here, the biggest new skin, and that is Toro the Carnotaurus. Now, we did get a glimpse of Toro during the Scorpius Rex species profile, but it was a nighttime shot, it was hard to get a lot of detail. Actually, because it was so dark, a lot of people thought maybe Toro was in his crispy form, shall we say. But he does actually look more like in the typical standard Camp Cretaceous form, not post-fire, but pre-fire, essentially. And I was really curious looking at this about how he's going to compare to the original one. Let's just compare him to the Camp Cretaceous version. First of all, you can see there's no scar here, although it is on a different side of the head. I suspect that's probably not going to be there, but we'll have to wait and see. We need him to turn around. But really the better comparison to see how this is actually different is with the original Carnotaurus. And when you start to do this, you can actually see quite a lot of differences that maybe aren't apparent originally. Coloration wise, Toro is a lot more orange, a lot more brown, a lot warmer and darker in coloration, whereas this Carno has a lot of pinks, a lot of purples, a lot of yellow, quite a varied gradient sort of mix of coloration all around the body. The eyes are a lot brighter on Toro. There's a lot of, I've clicked the wrong button. No, I haven't, I fixed it. There's a lot more sort of highlighting on the ridges, which I actually think looks really good. These ridges here below the horn, as you can see, they're fairly dark on the right, but on Toro, they're fairly bright and light. The split between the top of the snout, well, the jawline basically, is much more clear with Toro as well, whereas here it's got this sort of, like it's been chowing down on something rather messy kind of pattern going around the mouth. I've got to say, I actually think I might prefer Toro. I love the Evolution 2 Carnotaurus, but I think Toro's coloration appeals to me a little bit more. You can also see the patterning as well. If you look at our Carno on the right, you can see this is fairly haphazard, ink splotty sort of patterning. It's very wibbly wobbly, looks a little bit like Europe or some other continent. As we get rid of that and we look at Toro itself, Toro tends to be more stripes down the side. They're wibbly wobbly stripes, don't get me wrong, they're European stripes, but they are more stripes descending from the back. We've also got this split coloration going down the spine, which isn't really there again on that right hand side, which is much darker. I think the darker colours and the lighter colours on the Toro skin just make it look really interesting. I actually think that looks fantastic. I'm quite excited. I really am curious whether there's a scar on that side of the body. Couple more to take a look at. We've got Big Eatie. I was a little surprised about this inclusion because it doesn't feel like a major one. I would say Little Etie actually has the more prominent skin of the two, so I'm a little surprised we didn't get Little Etie. I'm a little surprised we didn't get both. But Big Eatie, and I've got to say, she looks pretty good. At least we compare her to the show version. It's pretty similar. The coloration is not great on the left-hand side, but it's a grey, dark grey, tepid sort of green. I think she's looking a little extra green here in the official image, maybe because of the environment. She's probably leaning more towards a greyish colour, but there's definitely hints of green in there. You can see that the scars inflicted here from the fights with the Kentro, with other Rex, etc., etc., are not present on the actual model. They're not there at all, but you will be able to beat her up if you want to. You stick her into combat with another dinosaur and you'll get your wish. Not a major one, this, for me, by any stretch of the imagination, but for those of you who really wanted it, now you can see her up close and in a little bit more detail. And it's a perfectly nice skin. It's definitely a good skin, probably a skin I'll use. I just, maybe it's because I didn't like Season 4. Maybe that's my problem, but either way, a pretty nice little skin there. And although we saw the Scorpius Rex in quite a lot of detail in the stream the other day, this is probably our best ever look at it in the daytime, full size, up close, getting tons of detail, tons of looks at how it's actually going to appear in game. I love the scarring we can see here. That's obviously from a fighting game. It's fighting a maybe a Baryonyx or something here on the left-hand side, if I had to guess. And as we saw in the stream the other day, they've got a variety of really cool colours. This is the official Camp Cretaceous skin. There's 2 of those appearing with the Scorpius Rex. We've got this one that's brown, and then we've got a more grey one that's going to appear as well, because of course there were 2 different Scorpius Rexes in the show. But this is a really good showcase of the weird teeth. They're not super crazy, but you can see how they sort of change in size dramatically from tooth to tooth. The big terrifying red eyes, that very short snouted, almost pug-like face, and then they kind of just go straight into the neck. There's no shoulders, there's no chin, it's just neck into head, essentially. We've got the quills on the top, and you would be able to see the quills on the tail as well. One thing I'm super curious about is Scorpius Rex going to be venomous when we get hold of it in our games? We've got the long arms down here, and you can see the quilling there a little bit on the tail at the back. Just a good image of the Scorpius Rex, really. All the others we've seen, these images, the Arano and the Kentro and the Anki. The Mono is a new image, the Parasaurolophus is, I believe, also a new image, and they're looking pretty nice there, but really just a quick update. It's for those of you who wanted to see the Toro skin, the Big Etie skin, and a little bit more of a closer look at the Scorpius Rex. Really cool stuff. Pack comes out, let's hope, in 2 days, but of course it also comes with a brand new big free update, which is maybe the more exciting bit, but definitely come back on the Tuesday to check out both. We're going to start a whole new unmodded park, I should say, based on the new pack. Very excited about that. And of course I'll have tons of content on Tuesday showcasing all of this stuff in-game. More than anything, I want to check out this bad boy's animations, hoping for some really weird stuff, or some really brutal stuff. We'll have to wait and see. Until then, thank you for joining me. Cheers much as always. Have a lovely Sunday. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.